welcome in. Hope you all had a great weekend. We are back on a Monday here. Open practice last night. I know it got a lot of reaction from people, both in real life and online. Harry was talking about something, not a good week, I think, really, for our former place of employment. If you want to look across the board, a couple of people with bad tweets. You had the poll earlier in the week asking if it's okay to have a guy who's allegedly a murderer be on your team, if that's okay. You know, it's just
what? I didn't see any of that.
Oh, yeah.
What is it? No, yeah. I don't know what the
Crossing Broad. I mean, they basically are a watchdog now for just awful content across the board. But no, stemming from the open practice, it's crazy, man. How do you get in trouble at an open practice? I don't know.
I don't know.
We
really
had fans that got kicked out too. If you saw that,
what at the open practice?
Yeah.
I heard there was 20-some thousand down there. That's all I know.
You knew there was going to be a fight.
Well, I know there were some fights in the Citizens Bank Park with Met fans fighting each other. I saw a video of that. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: how can we rip them if we've got Eagles fans fighting each other at a stinking open practice?
Well, yeah, I can't rip them then. I mean,
like,
I just got to stay quiet.
Right.
Yeah.
All I wanted to do was rip those Mets fans, and then I see Eagles fans getting escorted out of the arena.
Now, is that just the result of having all day to drink beer and other things?
That and a couple other things. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because I mean, you're probably tailgating the baseball game. You go into the baseball game, you over imbibe there, and then you continue tailgating until the Eagles practice, and by then you are housed.
Yeah, you're hammered. You're hammered. You're feeling good about yourself. You know, got a little liquid courage in you.
Yeah.
Of course, you might have to go out there and fight a little bit, man. You know, you got a little bit on your chest right now. You know, say it with your chest. Yeah, you can say a lot of stuff with your chest.
Yeah.
When you all juiced up, you know.
Now, Mac, you add a substance or two. You add some back into that potion.
Right.
You think you're bulletproof.
Right. Well, I tell you, the baseball team is demanding my attention as of this weekend. Now, we'll see what happens here because now they face the Dodgers starting Tuesday night with Max Scherzer. Hello.
Come on, Harry. This is a
so we'll see.
Town. You cannot diverge from the plan here.
No.
This is a football town. That's what our ratings say, right?
Well, I don't know what the ratings say. I never knew what the ratings said. I was only told what the ratings said.
Oh.
And I don't know that I necessarily believe that either.
Well, Harry, you got to go to B's strength. I mean, Barrett's a football guy. You got to talk football. I mean, gosh, football.
Wow. Within less than a year, we have got Barrett doing Matt Nahigian impressions. Jeez.
Not bad at all.
Oh, they're in first place, man. I mean, you know, Harper hit a couple of bombs over the weekend, and I saw you tweet, and you were talking about this with Wankel on Friday about his MVP numbers. What was it, 1,800 then?
Yeah.
And now it's down to, what, 850 or something?
It's dropped significantly. And look, I mean, to be fair, the value was way before 1,800, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right. That's when they were like 3 games out.
Even beyond that.
Out, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, now he's at 400 on Fox.
400.
Wow.
1,400 points of value in 3 days. Now, think about how much value we lost already heading into the weekend. Because he didn't start the season at plus 1,800, right?
No.
Well,
so, like, we need, I don't know, somebody with, like, the PGF level of vision to come on and be like, hey, I had Bryce Harper back when he was plus 3,000.
Well, yeah, because I mean, he wasn't even an all-star,
right? Exactly.
So I mean,
that's a great. What were his odds during the All-Star break?
Right,
around
you know
3,000.
But still, though, it's still not good. It's still not good because you know if you realistically look at it, Real Muto is probably going to split a couple of votes for him, which could go to Harper. So, I still don't think that's good money.
You know what, though? You make an interesting point because I think the two guys on the Dodgers are going to do that as well.
Right.
I think Muncy and, that's probably now Trey Turner there. I think that's going to be a problem. Both of these guys are hovering. Like look at this. Tatis is at minus 118. He's hurt. And Harper's going to have at least better opportunity to put numbers up
Right.
because he's healthy. Then you have the next two guys, Muncy and Turner, same team.
Yeah. It's hard to believe, though, that a guy could be in the lead for MVP with only 45 RBIs.
That's the only thing, man. Those ribbies got to get up.
We're going to near mid-August here. Well, there's 50 games left.
Like everything else he's doing.
I know.
Like this isn't even Ben Simmons. This isn't even a guy who is not doing something or doing something poorly. Like, I don't think his batting average with runners in scoring position is atrocious.
I don't know what it is.
He probably doesn't have. I would guess that he has less opportunity to drive in runs than not taking advantage of opportunity to drive in runs. You're such an old school baseball.
Yes.
Pure.
It's just hard for me to wrap my head around a guy that's the MVP, and in mid-August he's got 45 RBIs.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And
you gotta reinvent how you see the game here.
No, I don't.
Well, then don't watch because it's going to piss you off.
I know. I don't watch.
The Other Part Studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
I welcome in a Monday edition. I feel like you guys are closer to your cameras than I am after looking at what's going on here. So
it looks the same to me.
Well, I heard about you on your camera on Sunday morning around 9:30, closer to 10 o'clock, I believe, is when you actually went on QVC.
I think it was actually close. Was it that? Yeah.
Yeah, because my mom was watching down in Florida, and she said that you did a great job. It appeared like she could tell you were somewhat nervous, but you did a great job, and you smiled the entire time. She said he never smiles on the radio show, but when he's on selling QVC, he had a big ear-to-ear smile.
he knew the money was coming in.
Right. He's miserable as heck with us, Barrett.
No, that's not true. Now here's what I would say. She's probably referring to me looking off camera a bunch.
Okay.
As like looking away almost, because normally when you're on television or something and you're looking away, it's like, am I doing something? The problem that I had, and this is going through it the first time, is they kept running this B-roll, and I was told they would only run the B-roll once, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when they kept running the B-roll, I'm kind of looking over to make sure that I'm talking over the B-roll as opposed to them seeing me on camera. So that unfortunately led me to look over a couple of times, like,
gotcha.
Like I'm looking down the JAKIB Media YouTube page, kind of looking. So yeah, the eyes away is always going to give that sense of like, what's he doing? But I they had B-roll and they ran this 44-second clip like 6 times. So I didn't know if I had to do play-by-play for this 6 times or just one time.
Well, when I tuned in earlier than that, and they were selling blenders, these gigantic Vitamix blenders. This thing was like $600, and they're selling it to you for like $400.
They got the whole hour.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was like, remember when you had this with Jay on the Fanatic? It was like Ponzio's, the takeover, the total takeover.
Oh, yeah.
So they took over the whole hour there. I'm telling you, man, like between you, Barrett, like I'm sitting there watching from 7 a.m., sweating, all nervous and everything. I must have bought 4 different things.
You bought 4 things?
Yes, I won't even use half.
Did you get the blender?
No, I didn't get the blender. I got the scoop maker, though.
Oh, okay.
All right, we're back to the network. Hold on one sec, man. Go ahead.
Bro, same thing happened when I we used to get up and go do breakfast on Broad. And since our channel was on, like that extra channel, the plus channel, at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'd be sitting at my desk after I go through the rundown. I'm looking up and I see all these things they're selling. I can remember buying those knives, and I bought these knives, and I didn't get them for like 3 months. So I was pissed off about that because I didn't get the knives, and seeing everything else they had on there, One time they had Breitling watches they were selling. I was going to try to buy a Breitling watch, So I tended to look away now. I don't want to look at that stuff because they make it look so appetizing.
I know. It was kind of addictive. I gotta be honest. Like while I was watching this guy talk about a stupid blender, I was like interested in it. Yeah. It's bizarre.
And this is right around the time Showtime. Remember the Showtime oven? I bought the Showtime rotisserie. Unbelievable, man. I still use it.
So I think what it is, it's a combination, right? Like think about this. This is why Amazon works so damn well. is like the time that you could spend on Twitter or Tinder or anything in between. You can go to Amazon and just search through like the daily deals. And you're thinking to yourself, yeah, do I really need that neon green pair of running shoes?
Mm-hmm.
But then, it's like, here's the deal. And it's how it's presented, right? So
right.
it is already. And I think the difference on QVC, just from, trading and going through this, is they really tell you like not to sell and to just talk and like reference stuff. So like from Barrett's standpoint, like somebody selling, spices or something food related to somebody who can cook, right? Telling a story about their grandmother making the maple sugar on the bacon is going to trigger something in your head. Oh my God, buy that shit.
What is it? Is it Tom and Dave or something? What are the guys' names? The show you were on?
Oh no, Pat and Dan. Pat
and Dan.
Woman, though.
Yeah, Pat and Dan.
Yeah, Pat the woman though. We want to make sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Pat was hooking it. Like Pat, gave me this amazing intro. I didn't even know, they knew who I was as far as like doing stuff locally, but she's like, oh, I can't wait to hear you take on the Eagles. I was going to throw it in there just for Barrett. Yeah, you probably hear more Phillies first, but.
Well, Joey B bought some lights from you.
Apparently. I saw that on Twitter, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Look, I just appreciate you guys watching.
Joey B, great, man. Good morning, Mom.
That 60K note, man.
Bro, it's one thing. You look at that stuff, man. I can see you selling it, man. I mean, it sells itself, really.
Right. Wait, I'll tell you. I'll show you this razor that I have. So they gave me this same brand, Home 365, and they gave me this electric razor. It's 3-in-1, right? So you can use it on your head. The 3 little dials that you can use that. They've got a trimmer where you can shape up, and then they have this nose hair thing. And the nose hair thing is incredible. It's like you remember that Flowbee that you could cut your hair with?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the nose. It's just like, it just takes it right out.
Wow.
The next time you see me on there, I'm going to be trimming my nose hair on QV.
Wow.
Bro, that's a must-have when you're on TV, man.
I'm telling you.
Relationships
have ended. All right.
I need that, bro, because it's not like having stalactites, hanging out your nose when you're trying to talk and you're looking at the other guy's nose. Like, come on, man. Do something about that, man.
Come on, man.
TV now.
You got to have more self-awareness, people. You know what I'm saying?
You never know, though. Like,
take a look in the mirror every once in a while.
I mean, you got to get it out of there, bro.
Yeah.
You got to get out of there. You can't. And I was on. One of my co-hosts is not you guys, but I've been on NBC with. Definitely had the stalactites.
Oh yeah,
coming
little
out.
issue.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's
who you got to name names now.
I can't do that, man. I can't. He's still there, so that really messes it up because there's not many people still there, but he's still there. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why you can't time out.
I could probably figure out who.
I mean, who? Just tell us who it is. We're not going to think of this individual any less. The entire city, including the 3 of us, love Michael. Not to say it's him. I'm just saying if it were him as an example. That's all. Is it Ray? I mean, like you couldn't say anything about Ray's appearance that would impact the negative, like from a negative standpoint. I really like that Ray Didinger, but I heard from Barrett Brooks that he's got nose hair way too long. So I'm out.
Well, hold on. If you're talking about Ray, you can't even say Ray because Ray's not looking into the camera. Ray's always on his notes. You got to get Ray's attention.
The legal pad.
Yeah, you got to get Ray's attention. And then he gets, he's like, "Oh, Ray, what do you think about that?" Then he'll fold his book up. Well, Michael, he goes into his spill, but you got to get his attention sometime. And you can this is a little gem right now when you're watching post-game show or the pre-game show. Watch Ray. When he wants to say something and he has something to say, watch his pen. He'll start, his.
Yep. Starts tapping it.
Yeah. He'll tap and that's how Mike knows that he has something,
right.
to say.
Time to call on Ray.
Right.
You should just put his hand up.
He's not like me and Seth, No. Right, yeah. He's not like me and Seth. Me and Seth jockey. And hey, but you know what I mean? We're still going back and forth. This Ray's sitting there with his pen.
Well, what jumped out at you at the open practice? I heard Quez Watkins is impressing people.
Quez is having an unbelievable camp. He's going up and he's making the tough catches. Now, that's something that we really need to focus on. When you look at big-time wide receivers, the reason they're big-time because they make the tough catches, the catches they aren't supposed to catch. They don't necessarily have a lot of volume catches or anything like that, but they make those tough catches. That's what makes them great. None of our receivers besides Quez is making those tough catches. So hence that's why our guys like Fulgham. Look at Fulgham. Fulgham had a tremendous first half of the season because he was making the tough catches, making the hard to get catches. Once he stops doing that, then he becomes average real quick, and there's no room for him to be average when you have guys as fast as they are on this Eagles team. He's not a fast guy. He's a big guy. So he has to be that guy to go up and get those 50-50 balls, the balls that are challenging to get. Mm-hmm. That's how he's going to set himself apart from other guys. That's why J.J. Whiteside, J-Jaw is having a pretty good camp because he's making the tougher catches than other guys. Like Hightower, he's outplaying Hightower right now. Hightower better get it together, or else he might be on the hound. You know what I'm saying? When guys say the hound, this is back in the day.
The Greyhound. That's the Greyhound.
The hound is the Greyhound. They're gonna give you a ticket to get you up out of there.
Right.
Well, you got to start setting yourself apart, and I don't see these guys setting us apart. Besides Quez Watkins, he had one play where he went up and got it from Harris. Harris is the best. Well, supposed to be the best safety we have. He went up and high pointed the ball in the end zone for a touchdown. Even though Hurts, they probably blew the play dead, and Hurts would have probably been sacked on the play, but he actually flicked it 50 yards in the air in the end zone, and Quez went up there and got it. And he has the speed. He's a 4.3 guy. In fact, he might have ran the fastest time at the combine last year. So
how did he last all the way to the 6th round?
Well, I don't know. Mississippi State. He wasn't making those Southern Miss.
Yeah,
he wasn't making those big time catches. I'm telling you, that's what sets guys apart. When you can make the big time catch, you might not even have to be a volume catcher, but you got to flash sometimes in order to be noticed. And he's at this point now where he wants to get noticed. I don't see why he's not starting. He should be a starter now. He should be a starter because he's showing in camp.
I don't know, man. I feel like we get caught up in this stuff every year, right?
You're right. Yeah.
No, but here's the thing. I'm not saying you're wrong.
You're right about that. See,
but hold on. Let me clarify, because I don't want it to sound like I was coming down on what you were saying. I think what happens is there's not enough middle ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Greg Ward and who was the cat before him that was balling in camp, and it was like, hey, this is our new number one.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, whoa. Why don't we just look at somebody who should be now a contributor? And that's kind of how I felt like with Watkins, right? And now what you're saying, it makes me feel better about that. But I feel like there are going to be people that take what Barrett just said and are going to go, oh man, all right, now let's do this. We got a number one. We got a yeah. And it's like, whoa. We need to have, I'm not saying pump the brakes. I'm saying we need to have middle ground. That's it.
We need a little more. We need a little more in stock. Build that stock up a little more before we just go ahead and anoint you.
Well, we also need to see him play against another team in a game.
Exactly.
Everybody wants to get up in arms because he caught something in practice.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this: there's one guy in camp right now that you could put your money on it. And I said it last week, and I'll say it again. He might be a double-digit guy in sacks this year. Sweat.
Yeah,
everybody, man. He has become, I'm trying to think, he and Mailata have become the darlings of camp, right?
Yep. Well, it's not that they've worked their way into it.
Well, yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's a better way to put it, right? I don't want to say that like they don't deserve it. They clearly deserve it.
Coyote too. I don't know how he's a rookie from Buffalo.
Yep.
Another darling in camp right now, everybody's loving, is Tyree Jackson, the former quarterback from Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a phenomenal camp.
Is he a tight end?
Yeah.
Like
6'7", 6'8".
Big guy, yeah.
Yeah, in fact, I actually called I was the color analyst on the Temple Buffalo game 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago, 3 games? And he looked good as a quarterback. He's starting to rub those veterans the wrong way, though. During practice, after he caught a touchdown during team period, he went up and dunked it. You know what I'm saying? And
he's got they were like flash to him.
Right. But you got to watch that. You don't want to keep making now we'll see if he's doing all that when he can get hit, when he can really get hit during game type situation. He's not used to getting hit. He's been a quarterback. He's had that red jersey on. It's a lot different when guys can go out there and knock you out. And there lies a problem. you don't have that red jersey anymore. So if you don't have the red jersey on, they can hit you.
Well, finally,
So
we
we'll
have a
see.
game this Thursday night.
Yes, we will see what's going on
Now
against the Steelers.
Right. Did any of you guys catch any of the Hall of Fame stuff? I loved it. I saw a lot of it. It was great.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was great.
You know, I like what Edgerrin James, was saying. He said, don't judge a book by its cover. Just because I got gold teeth, I got dreads and everything. I come from Florida. I may not talk as fluent as you do. But, hey, you're talking about a guy with the heart of a champion, a guy that goes out there and keeps his nose clean, a guy that's never been arrested. I don't get in trouble. I just go about my work as being one of the best athletes to play the game.
Yeah. I had to go back and look at his numbers, man. He had quite a few 1,000-yard years, man.
No question.
Yeah,
no question.
He's definitely Hall of Fame. I think he's what is he all-time in yards? He's in the top 15, I think.
Yep. I mean,
in all-time yards.
We're talking about a trio, him, Manning, and receiver
Marvin Harrison.
Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
Those
and
three
Reggie
put up
Wayne.
Some great numbers.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you would have put Reggie Wayne in there.
Yeah.
They put up some great numbers, man. Great numbers. So, but I love that speech. I love Peyton's speech.
Yeah.
Why was he so sweaty though?
Who?
What was up with that shirt, man?
Which one?
Manning.
Oh,
yeah.
You see Troy? Troy was the same. And Palomar was the same way.
No, but I mean, this dude had like a two-tone shirt on, and it only stopped sweating like right at the stomach area.
Yeah. Well, I think Tom Brady coming out and being in the house for his induction maybe had him sweating a little bit. That was a pretty classy move out of Brady.
Very classy.
Yeah.
In fact, they might not even make him wait the 5 years.
Yeah, just put him in now. They should put him in while he's still playing. Yeah, that's what they do with some of the golfers. I mean, Phil Mickelson's been in the Hall of Fame for years.
Yeah, what sports do that? They're not the only one though.
Does tennis do it?
I'm not sure.
That I don't know.
Is there a tennis Hall of Fame?
I'm sure. But think about that. Like, doesn't boxing do that? Didn't Bernard Hopkins get put into the Hall of Fame and was still fighting?
Well, yeah. Then the boxers just keep fighting.
Right.
He came back.
Then they fight YouTubers.
Right.
And they're done fighting each other. Right.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like individual sports probably a better way. Like the NHL doesn't do this. You have to be done. Right.
Yeah. Edgerrin James had 12,246 yards.
Yeah.
Well, if that will now see, there lies what Ricky Waters had. What 10,000? That's why I'm saying Ricky should be a Hall of Famer also. I don't know why they're not giving him, really a chance, but he should be a Hall of Famer, man.
Here's what I don't get. Like, why is Calvin Johnson a first ballot Hall of Famer, but T.O. is not?
Right.
Oh,
that doesn't make sense.
No, it makes sense because he rubbed people the wrong way. And that's what happened.
Yeah, so did a lot of guys.
Exactly right. I mean, Ty Cobb killed somebody.
Right.
And he's in the freaking Hall of Fame.
I think Emmitt Smith's a jerk, and he's the number one guy in rushing yards.
You're absolutely. He's one of the worst people, that I met being around him. Yeah. And usually when you're around guys, you usually feel as though you're on an even level, and it's not like a guy that's not played.
Mm-hmm.
But he even big times the guys that are former players. You know what I mean? So I mean, I guess I'm not on his level. He made sure that that he wouldn't talk to me, but he talked to everybody else. Oh yeah.
Not surprised.
Yeah, he kind of ignored me, but that's fine though.
I'm a sucker for that Hall of Fame stuff, though, man. I don't know.
Well, you
like I turned back into a 10-year-old kid.
Yeah, I was going to say,
like watching football in the 70s. I don't know what it is, but I get like emotional when I hear guys talk about their coaches.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like the impact that they had on their lives. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I tell people all the time. How Snyder, Bill Snyder, he saved my life, man. He really put me on the right track. I wasn't a guy I wouldn't do anything stupid, but he gave me the discipline to not be lazy and go out there and really put me in a position to be successful. He came and took me off that Greyhound bus. He he did the little things, make sure, he made sure I was clean shaved, I was clean shaved, no mustache, no beard, you couldn't have earrings in, no ear screws in. He was
ear screws. Is that what he called earrings?
He called them ear screws.
Ear screws.
Brooksy,
headphones?
get them ear screws out. Now
that's what I'm going to call. What's it called now? What are these damn pods? That's what I'm calling these Apple pods now.
Oh yeah,
ear screws.
Right. He did the little things, man. I mean, he's phenomenal coach because he was more so of a mentor than anything. A lot of guys who played for him would definitely say the same thing. I mean, he actually came, like I'm from Kinloch in St. Louis. Kinloch, at the time had the 5th highest crime rate per capita in the nation. Really bad area. But see, at the time, I didn't know I was poor because everybody else was living like I was. But I can remember he drove all the way from Kansas State and drove to my house in Kinloch. And I can remember when he pulled up, my uncle and my cousin tried to sell him dope.
Is that right?
And ran up to his Cadillac because back in the day, I'm just being real with you guys. Back in the day, prosperous people would come in and they would give them, they said, all right, they wanted, some dope. They would give them the dope and they let them use their car for the day. It's like they were renting this car for drugs.
Wow.
Well, they ran up to us going, hey, I want this Cadillac. No, I want this Cadillac. I'm like, yo, get away from him. Yeah. That's the coach from Kansas State. Oh, my fault. My fault, bro. My fault.
He wasn't in a purple Cadillac, was he?
No. It was like a gold Cadillac. But they wanted to use the Cadillac to rent it for drugs. I'm like, come on, man. Come on. I said, sorry about that, coach. He's like, oh, Barrett, interesting characters you got there, huh? I said, they're actually my cousins.
We got to take a quick break. We're coming up more on the weekend here. We're back in 3 across the board. It is the middle.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
but as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
As long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull Beef Jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
Welcome to the Wildwoods, the perfect place where you can safely do everything or nothing at all. Catch a wave, take a nap, go for a drive, grab a bite. It's your vacation, and we're doing everything we can to make it a safe one. The Wildwoods. Your vacation, your way.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at ibew98.org.
On the field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
This is a key. It's a family tree. It's a pair of wings. It's a secret handshake. And a ticket to anywhere in the world. It's more than a uniform. It's the door to a world most people only dream of. There's Strong, and then there's Army Strong. Try it on at GoArmy.com.
Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts studio. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, now last night the open practice. Anybody else did this, or is it just us over the weekend? I feel like this is something normal, right?
Yeah, I think most teams do it a couple of times. The Eagles do it, I think, twice this year. There's going to be one more of these open deals.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's it used to be great though when you'd be able to take the trip up to Lehigh or Westchester before they went to Lehigh. It was like a sort of a thing you'd get together with your boys and go up a couple times. The two open practices at the link in such a that kind of environment doesn't really do much for me.
Right.
Open practice. Go ahead.
No.
Open practices, man. You as a player, you enjoyed open practices because it didn't seem like it lasted as long, even though you were going harder because you're going in pads because you want to give the fans a show. It's the closest you probably get to like game type situations besides when you scrimmage somebody, when you're in an open practice, because you're going to want to go a little harder for the fans, especially when you have 20,000 there. And it was legitimately 20,000. They filled up the lower bowl.
Okay.
So
now where were you? What was your vantage point? Were you on the field at all?
I started out on the field and nobody told me that I wasn't supposed to be on the field.
Okay.
So I walked straight down to the field, because nobody said anything to me, Everybody else had to go upstairs in the press box. So I was on the field. I'm looking around like, hey, where's everybody at? So I go to my cameraman. I was like, yo, bro, where's everybody at? Where all everybody else is upstairs. I said, well, they didn't say anything to me. He said, yeah, because I come down, I'm talking to people, signing autographs, I'm going and it was like, I was supposed to be down there when I really wasn't.
Now, were you signing autographs because you're on the middle? Like people were recognizing you as part of the middle and they wanted your autograph?
Yeah, I just happened to be Harry and Eytan's co-host. That's what it was.
Was anybody asking for us? Yeah, where's that Eytan at?
Oh, he's already all busy on QVC.
He's on QVC.
But then I realized, okay, let me get out of here before I get in trouble. So then I went back up. I went upstairs and watch practice from upstairs. In fact, it happened to be better down upstairs than it was downstairs because you're at, when you're at the same level as field, you can't really see everything. But up there, you can see replays and you can see the field. And I went out there and I watched Dillard get his ass kicked again. But it was pretty good.
Again?
Cool. Yeah. Status quo. Why
is he? Yeah, go ahead.
If there's any way that this kid starts in front of Jordan Mailata, it'll be a travesty. It'll be misconduct. It'd be conduct detrimental to the NFL if he starts in front of Mailata.
Yeah.
Mailata's bald. He's shown himself to be a good tackle. He's being consistent. He's doing the little things like dropping his hips, punching with his hands, driving guys around. He's doing he did a double team block with what was the guy? Let me take my little list out. Because of course you can't see anybody's numbers. Those numbers suck, man, because they were the green, like fluorescent numbers.
Yeah.
And you can't tell what that number is when they're out there like that, man. I mean, it's hard enough to see them like that. You couldn't even tell who it was.
Really? It was that hard?
Oh,
Even
yeah,
when you were above?
Yep. It was really hard, man.
Wow.
You really couldn't tell who was who because of that.
Maybe that was on purpose.
Yeah.
Right.
They wanted you to think that Dillard was Mailata.
Exactly.
Or Mailata was Dillard.
You could not tell the difference between a 16 jersey and an 18 jersey. Well, you could tell by the way they're playing, but not from the numbers on the jersey. But let me see, who was starting? Who did they have starting?
We did that at
Opeta
high school. So I went to a high school that was really good at hockey. Sent a couple of kids like to the NHL and et cetera. I couldn't skate to save my life. And what they would do is they would play these exhibition games, right? And they would put dudes in different jerseys and they would just get run. They put like their third stringers out on their first line and everything, and they just get run. And then they would take on that school like, 3 months later, right? Whatever it may be. And they're coming in thinking, oh, we killed this team in the preseason, all this stuff. The next thing you know, they had like different players wearing different jerseys back to their real stuff.
No, that's not. You can't do. That's not right, man.
I didn't know. It probably was illegal.
That is. You can't do that. That's
Blame the NEPSAC, New England Prep Scholastic Athletic Conference, whatever the hell it's called. The gunnery.
They're wrong for that.
Outing them out. I think we had one of these front office guys here in Philadelphia. His son went and played hockey there. I mean, it was a factory. They lied to me and said, "Hey, come play football." Meanwhile, all it was just a bunch of guys who were taking the fall in order to train for hockey and playing football. That was the extent of their football.
Well, speaking of hockey, Ron Culver points out that the NHL didn't have Wayne Gretzky wait. As soon as he retired, he went right into the Hall of Fame.
Wait a second.
That goes without saying.
Yeah, but is that the only guy that's done that, though? Like, has anybody else, Ron, in the NHL been put in there?
Well, he shouldn't make him.
I think it's the exception.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. So they made an exception.
Right.
Which they didn't need to do. You know, it's like, yeah, we all feel bad that Kirby Puckett and others, right? Like, but you don't have to jump ahead of it just to put them in there. I don't know. I feel like it would be a little cheap to put Tom Brady in right now.
No, not me.
You do?
I do. He's in. He's a Hall of Famer. Like, you don't have to go through all this other stuff. Derek Jeter had to wait. Tom Brady can wait. All right, we're back at 3 on the network. Still live on the JAKIB Media YouTube page. Give us a like. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that notification bell. That's all I'm saying. Like,
Derek Jeter.
You don't need to skip the line here.
I get it.
That's all.
I think that you.
I'm not saying hold him out. I'm not saying he's got to wait or anything like that. Like, he should. In fact, I'll do you one better. Like, they should just make the weekend about Tom Brady and just put him in and be the only.
He's the only guy.
Yeah,
in the class.
Or do like a quasi. You know, do like a Saturday Brady gets inducted and Sunday everybody else gets inducted.
So he has his whole day to himself.
Give him his own day. That's fine with me. See, I'm not taking anything away from the dude, but just come on. You don't need to.
But no BS, no joking around. They could make an exception for him. There's no question about that. Say what you want to say about Belichick and him teaming up with Belichick. No, Tom Terrific was the reason why that team was as good as they were. Period, point blank. I mean, he's the best quarterback to ever play. You know, and it used to be Joe Montana, but there's no question. No question. He cemented himself when he left. He left the party and went and joined in with another party and still rocked the house. You know what I'm saying? Still won it. So yeah, Tom the best ever. And I hate. I mean, I absolutely hate. And I say hate. I'm not even being. I hate New England. I hate them. They took a Super Bowl from me too. I should have 2 rings.
No, it's nothing wrong with that.
But I can't hate on Tom and how good he is. So, if they did make an exception, he would be the guy that, so you'd have to say that would you say he's the best football player to ever play the game? Would you say that?
A lot of people say Jerry Rice is.
Right. And I beg to differ because I think the Reverend is better than him. Mr. I mean, come on now. You
talking about Reggie White? Who are you talking about?
The Reverend, Reggie White, yeah.
Yeah.
The Reverend, it's no question. I mean, come on, man. Are you kidding me?
I don't know.
Yeah, but isn't Aaron Donald as good as Reggie White?
I'd say LT.
Lawrence Taylor.
Don't
forget about him.
Lawrence Taylor and Reggie White are on Mr. White on the same. I can't even say Reggie White. Mr. White and Lawrence Taylor are probably on the same line because you had to change how you block plays. You change the way you do offense. You know what I'm saying? Like you could not just leave him on. Usually you leave linebackers with backs, tight ends. You literally had to change how you protected a play.
Mm-hmm. By
where he lined it up on the field. If he lined up on the right side, you would literally change everybody.
It's the same with LT.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
No.
Both guys.
Yeah, that's
both
guys. Both right. Yeah, I think you have to put them both.
Oh, no question.
Yep.
No question. And I think both guys are better than Jerry Rice.
This is The Middle on the Sports Map Radio Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, now this is interesting because I saw this. Brandon Lee Gouton and others have been tweeting about this, and it's difficult because it's on a platform that is not really meant for nuance. But it seems like there is no middle ground when it comes to what's happening with Jalen Hurts. Adam's Exploits on the stream asks a very simple and realistic question. The only middle ground you're getting are for the people that are down there watching him. So Barrett has been down there a couple of times, and it just seems like there isn't a rush to anoint and there isn't a rush to bench, but there's been a lot of up and down.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Yes. Just from my analysis, my perception of what Hurts is going through, it's just his pre-snap. Like when he delivers the ball, you know, it's he's not overthrowing guys. He's getting it to them. They get him and keep running. They catch it in stride. Throws a beautiful deep ball. Gets the ball out on to the receiver right there where throws a very catchable ball. But the timing in which he gets the ball out still needs to get faster. And that just comes with pre-snap reads. That comes with knowing the offense well enough that you know exactly where you're going with the ball before the play even happens. That's what the great quarterbacks do.
Right.
That's what Brady does.
That's going to take time.
That takes a long time.
Yeah.
You know, and you could see the difference between when he's in the offense and you see the other guys in the offense. But as far as skill set, you know, as a quarterback, he's still the better of the three quarterbacks. You know, the better. There's no question. He's the better of the three quarterbacks. It's just he needs to get that pre-snap. The ball takes too long getting out of his hands.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to know if they throwing a blitz coming from the right side, you got to throw into the blitz. The hot routes got to stop and deliver the ball. You can't think you're going to run out of every situation and use your legs. You know, you're going to have to hand the ball off sometimes when you run a read option instead of keeping it all the time. That just comes with reps and doing it, man. You know, so, I mean, it's going to take a little while for him to be that way. And do the Eagles have enough time to wait? Is the urgency for them to win right now a determining factor? It probably is.
I don't think so.
I'm talking about as far as him being, you know, a guy that's gonna lead this team into the future.
Well, you're not going to know that for a while. I mean, even if they don't make a move on Deshaun Watson, I think, you know, it's got to be, you know, the whole year.
Right.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
But speaking of Deshaun Watson, did you see the tweets that came out that were basically opposites?
Yeah.
Within about a 3-minute span, Charles Robinson put this out, Eytan, on Deshaun Watson. The Texans have not given up on him being their QB. They're not taking low ball offers. This is why they aren't being overly communicative with teams. Barring a strong offer, Texans brass will try to get him back into the fold before the season begins. And then you had John McClain, who knows everything that goes on. Yes, Hall of Fame John McClain.
Now, when you say then, am I led to believe that McClain's came out after?
Well, let me see here. McClain's was at 10:20. Actually, Robinson's came out 3 minutes after McClain's tweet. McClain's tweet said, Watson will never play another down for the Texans. That was at 10:20 a.m. And 10:23, Charles Robinson puts out his tweet.
You know what?
Wow.
That's somebody inside the organization being like, whoa, we just lost a ton of leverage.
Right.
Somebody get Charles Robinson on the phone right now. Whoa, what just happened? Because I guarantee you, like, McClain is getting that from who? Most likely from Watson, right? Himself.
Right. Or the agent.
Or, yes, his agent. Yes, the extension of Deshaun Watson. So the team has to come out and say, whoa, what's going on here? We're about to lose this deal. Whatever deal we may have had, we're about to lose if it's a second-round pick. Like, that tweet could be enough, right? You guys know, for a general manager to come back and be like, that's not what I heard.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, you're groveling for a 4th-round pick instead of receiving a 2nd-round pick.
Yeah, you're trying to get a first-rounder to a guy that's not even going to play this next year coming up, and you're going to get a second round instead of a first round. I mean, we were all in agreement that we were going to get 3 first rounders next year. Now we got 2 on a possible. I feel like I'm playing spades when it comes
that
to
possible
wins.
doesn't look too good.
No.
Right. We bet for a Boston, and there's no way we're going to get a Boston now.
Yeah.
Nope. You're right, though. I mean, it's like
blind 10. Let's go, baby. We went with the blind, and we got blinded.
It's unfortunate, isn't it? But
crazy.
you still had to make that deal. I think for the issue with Wentz, at least, like I don't have any remorse about it. He did not want to be here. It was really bad for Fletcher Cox and others who were upset about unnamed reports coming out. We had unnamed reports for years coming out about Carson Wentz, and love him or hate him, it turned out to be right.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Some of that stuff is going on. Now, again, like there was one player who echoed Michael Robinson's comments that were made on the NFL Network. So I don't know if that's enough for me personally to say, all right, let's mount a column. But people are talking, man. Like if I'm the 50th guy on the roster and here comes a new coach with a new system and all these other things, and I'm thinking to myself, hey, man, my ass could be out of here, then I might float something out to a reporter saying, hey, nobody knows who this dude is. Nobody's listening to this guy. Are you kidding me? Just don't put my name on that. Right? I mean, hey, or maybe you've already fallen out of maybe you've already fallen out, right? Maybe in OTAs or something. Coach is giving you that eye like, yeah, I know this guy was here, but that's Doug's guy, man. That's not my guy.
Not my guy.
Bro,
Yep. Yep.
With me, every time I think of Jalen Hurts, man, the whole situation, man, I just think of 8 Mile, man. And what's that song, Lose Yourself by Eminem? I'm just thinking he's in the corner right now, listening to Eminem right now. Before practice, every time he goes out there, he's thinking about Eminem. You know what I'm saying? You got to lose yourself. You know what I'm saying? What's that? Hands are sweaty, whatever he says, man. It seems like that's his buildup going into every single practice. He's got to build himself up to take on not just the perception of his teammates, his coaches, but also the front office. You know what I mean? It seems like the fans are ready for him to take hold of this team. The fans want him to be the number 1 quarterback. But he's fighting 3 different battles with his teammates, the coaches, and the front office.
Yeah, but all he can do is play. All he can do is
exactly.
play. And if he plays in a couple of these preseason games and they go out and get Deshaun Watson and he looks half decent, he's going to get a chance somewhere else.
Well, see, like Michael Thomas just said, you know what I'm saying? You have to wait for the games,
Yeah.
I understand that everything in camp is overblown, but it's not. It's not overblown. These rookies, these guys trying to make teams, this quarterback trying to be a starting quarterback, it means everything to them what they're doing right now. This is how they make their evaluations.
Right, but
this
the
is
fans'
how
reactions are overblown.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, like that, fans' reaction.
And that happens in every camp for every fan base. It's not just here.
Exactly. But the difference is you usually hear a little bit about, all right, this is our guy. You've heard absolutely nothing about that. And that's blowing my mind that, they're not really having any type of response. They're not entertaining any responses on him being the starting quarterback, which I think, I just don't, I've never seen this happen before. Never seen this happen before. So
zero.
When he does throw a pass that's incomplete or over, a receiver's head, it does get overblown because there's so much uncertainty on what he's doing. I don't know if they said anything to him about who's the starter. I mean, they're showing that he's the starter. He's taking all the starting reps, but still not solidifying with the rest of the city, especially this city here. We're a different fan base as compared to anybody else. Totally different fan base.
Football, yes.
Right.
I think in other sports, we're just like a lot of fan bases where if our stuff ain't hitting, we ain't sitting.
Exactly.
There's a Barrettism for you.
Yeah, there it is.
That sport ain't hitting, we ain't sitting. All right. You saw what happened to that attendance streak in Philadelphia with the Phillies.
Except the Flyers fans.
Yeah, I think even that is a little.
It's eroding, but
yes,
still.
Yes, it is. You got the Martinez's out there trying to talk logic
right
into the fan base, and all of a sudden they're waking up wait a second, maybe I don't have to continue to go to every single game.
And when they woke him up and he saw the light, that's
Mhm.
what turned me around. I'm like, oh my goodness, if Martinez is looking at things, the way I'm looking at it, there's something going on. We all see it now. We all see it.
Yeah.
We all see it.
Yeah.
Well, I need a game. I need a game. We got nothing tonight. We have nothing.
Well, that's not true. That's not true at all. Okay.
Nothing local. I mean, there's no Phillies game tonight.
I mean, there's nothing like local right now, but I'm in 3 separate tennis DFS tournaments.
Oh my God.
All right. I got
what tennis tournament is going on right now?
The Rogers Cup.
The Rogers Cup.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Up in Toronto.
Yeah.
Montreal. I'm not sure.
No, it's Toronto.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because Rogers Center.
Rogers Center. Yeah.
Rogers. It's the Rogers Center. So
is ping pong over with?
No. I look, ping pong, man. Ping pong is like late night stuff for me.
The ping pong seson never ends.
No,
okay.
I don't think it does. It's like golf.
Right.
Let's just find a different place to play on the planet. Right. Seriously. I'm gonna have to sweat out, of course, because tennis is so freaking corrupt. I'm gonna have to sweat out this stupid bet that I made earlier. Yeah, tennis is ridiculous, man. Tennis, honestly, like I know soccer, like international soccer, and what's the other one? Cricket constantly gets it. Highlight, I don't even think it's out anymore. That's just blatantly corrupt.
Right,
that's WWE.
That's fixed.
Exactly.
That's fixed.
Right, that's fixed. I think tennis there's a difference, right, between corrupt and fixed.
Mm-hmm.
I think corrupt is there are people infiltrated, like the Black Sox. I think they were corrupt. Oh, no. I guess you could say fixed in the sense of they use that term, but they were corrupted. Like the sport is not fixed. The team corrupted the sport, except for Shoeless, who will have you believe that he didn't know anything. Wait, does anybody actually believe that, by the way?
No.
That Shoeless Joe Jackson had no idea what was going on around him because, hey, I'm just a guy from the farm.
Yeah, right.
He saw it.
I'm not buying it.
He exactly saw it. Yeah. My thing is, look, if I really, really, really wanted to fix a World Series, especially back in the day where there isn't social media, et cetera, I would want one guy, and hey, coincidence or not, happen to be the best guy, to be out there busting his hump to make it look like this wasn't a fix or corruption in that sense. That's all.
It happens, bro.
I don't believe that. Who was it? John Cusack or was it DB Sweeney? You remember who played?
I think it was DB Sweeney.
Was it DB Sweeney?
I think it was.
That was an underrated role, man. Underrated role. I'm about to get butchered, by the way, on this Ostapenko bet. See, there is stuff going on. Well, we got 4 games tonight, right? In baseball?
In baseball?
I think so, right? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I was looking over this Philly schedule now here. They got some tough teams coming up. They got the Dodgers, of course, then Cincinnati, who's playing well. They got San Diego down not too far down the road, and Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Right.
And then in September, they don't play any division games at home in September. Like all their division games are on the road.
So are we saying that they're peaking too quick? They're peaking too early?
There's 50 games to go. That's an eternity.
Did we peak too early, man?
I know everybody's excited, and that's great. They had a big weekend. They get Roy Halladay, that commemorate him. That was great. Zach Wheeler looked like Roy Halladay on the mound.
Right.
It's great they didn't have to go to that wretched bullpen.
Oh, man, we gave out the Uncle Cooper Fade New York parlay yesterday.
Oh, is that right?
Hopefully people were watching. Absolutely, man.
Yeah, but didn't you fade the Angels on Friday night, and they actually beat the Dodgers?
Yeah, Friday, that was the one. We actually had a good weekend overall in baseball. That was the one that did not hit.
Okay.
Friday, because actually I didn't have the Angels. I had Dodgers. So I had the Phillies under 4.5 mixed with the Dodgers over 4.5. So because the Dodgers lost that game, they couldn't get to 5 runs. So that was the one that beat us. But no, I mean, look, yesterday was easy, right? You had Anthony Rizzo and this whole thing with COVID coming down on the Yankees, and you had the Mets, who were lifeless, heading into a game that if there was ever a day to bet a narrative, it would be Roy Halladay standing over in spirit Zach Wheeler having his own Cy Young season. All right, we're back at 3. The network still live on JAKIB Media. We'll break before the hour ends here on the middle. No, that was the easy one, right?
Which one?
Phillies -1.
Phillies, yeah.
Oh.
So we hit Phillies -1, the Reds -1, but that voided. And then the Fade New York was the Phillies -1 with the Mariners +2. It didn't need that 2, but still. That paid out 177. So I like these little 2-leg baseball. So I was looking at this from the PGF, of course, because I got to give them credit, about finding home teams that are -200 or greater with a total at 10 or greater and busting them down to -1 at home mixed with somebody else, right? So like the Reds, for example, give up that lead late in the game. They still have that 1-run lead. So the push is always in play as opposed to the 1.5, because the 1.5 you get cooked. So we're trying, man.
Did you see this Russ Joy tweet?
Just now, the one that I responded to?
Yeah, I think you responded to it. The number of current and former sports radio people who publicly deride Crossing Broad in public but grovel behind the scenes for positive coverage is truly one of my favorite things in the Philadelphia media.
So what is like?
Who derides them?
Well, I think people still call them like some sort of internet rag. I don't think people take Kincaid seriously, although he does a really good job. As much, we can say it in the break now, as much shit as we give him, he's
awesome.
As much of a journalist, if not more.
Yeah.
Than
he does his research.
People exactly. And look, I mean, he's worked in news, he's worked in TV,
yeah,
like that. That's what I mean. So I feel like there are people that still look down at Crossing Broad and think of it as like a lesser, even though the irony is that everything is moved towards the digital platform.
Yep.
So once what was looked as a negative, like, that's some internet rag. Well,
Right.
now the paper that you used to get is an
Right.
internet rag.
Yeah. So you said, I happen to love you guys. I just don't trust that Kincaid character.
Yeah.
So I'm going to respond, big fan here, and I trust Kevin Kincaid.
And you look at Kev, man. He's a shady looking dude, man. So next time we have him on, I'm gonna tell him, man, you're shady looking, man, because you can tell you behind that screen, you know. And I know the man behind the screen now, so it makes things a lot different too. But I can see you behind that screen typing up that story.
Yeah.
Thinking to yourself, I'm not breaking anything. I'm just telling the truth. That's what he's telling himself all the time. I'm just telling the truth. You know, you don't like it, then don't do it. But I'm telling the truth. Kev's a good dude, though, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
They were saying stuff about.
Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, now, Harry, I see you respond. Now, somebody responded to that.
They did?
I don't even see that in my mentions. Your response. Am I tagged on that?
You know, I've been pulling up Twitter, and the same tweet that has been, you know, on Twitter for the last 5 hours is still at the top of my page.
Wow. Here's what I'd say. If you don't take this place seriously, then you're never going to be upset about stuff that happens, right?
You mean Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I try not to. I try not to take it
respond to
seriously.
your tweet, by the way, and call you out as being a liar.
At Harry Mays TU for those who are interested.
Well, it's on your screen, too.
Right.
I guess for the people that are listening. You know, Jake Asman got another job.
What?
Yeah, so is Asman off the Asman show now? Do we know that, Ron Culver?
Tomorrow's his last day.
Whoa!
No!
Is he still in the building right now?
No, he's gone.
He's gone?
Unbelievable.
Where's he going?
Maybe I can do the 9 to 11 and then this. All right, we're back in 3.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in,
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid
as long as you face the fear.
and keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull Beef Jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
Welcome to the Wildwoods, the perfect place where you can safely do everything or nothing at all. Catch a wave, take a nap, go for a drive, grab a bite. It's your vacation, and we're doing everything we can to make it a safe one. The Wildwoods. Your vacation, your way.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at ibew98.org.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
I don't know what happened there. Froze up.
Well, where's Asman going?
He's starting a new show. See, here's the thing. I don't think we'll be able to talk to Ron right now. Why can't I ever get... He sends these texts that don't go through all the time. I didn't realize that he was leaving the network, though. Looks like he's doing... So, Gab Media owns the network, right? And then they also own a local station in Houston.
Okay. So he's going to the local station?
Yeah. Now, Asman is... We owe Asman a shout here because on his way out, he paid it forward to us. Now, this is assuming we want this person on, and I've already assumed so. So if not, we can go ahead and say, let's not do it. But he hooked us up with Jeremy Piven.
Oh, really?
Yeah, who's going to be doing stand-up, it looks like, this weekend here in Philly. And I've been told that we can ask about PCU, which is what I really want to talk to him about. This guy's been asked about Entourage forever. Right? Piven is like, you take, that's what I'm curious about, right? Take Entourage out. What's Piven, what does he look at the best thing he's done, the most accomplished thing he's done on screen?
Let me see.
I mean, he's also really funny just in general. Like, he's a good storyteller. You know what he is? I'll tell you. He's a rich man's Mercedes.
What do you mean?
Like his cadence, the way he can tell stories, he sounds a lot like Jason, but just a little better. Now, Jason's been talking forever on the air. He can tell a story. That's why I say rich man's. I don't mean like, maybe, Mercedes is a poor man's Piven. But see, that's a negative connotation.
Right.
But they have like this similar cadence and inflection. We'll tell good stories too.
I mean, I'm looking through this IMDb here.
Remember, in old school, wasn't he like the straight arrow guy?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he was a pain in their rear end. Yeah, his character's name.
I I didn't know he was in the Kingdom and Black Hawk Down.
Yeah,
I didn't know that either.
Pritchard was his character's
Yeah.
name in old school.
Is that a pledge pin?
On your uniform. No, that's Animal House. That
I know. I don't know why I was thinking of that guy.
was Niedermeyer, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep. I tell you, go back and watch Judgment Night. That was a pretty damn good movie.
He was in Kiss the Girls. I remember in Kiss the Girls. He was like a good character in that too.
That Morgan Freeman? Who was in that?
Yeah, Morgan Freeman.
Judgment Night.
Yeah, Judgment Night. I tell you, one of the best soundtracks, innovative. They took a metal band and they took a rap group and they put them together and said, make a song. Oh, man. Like the Judgment Night.
That's like Encore.
The soundtrack?
Yeah.
There was like House of Pain and Helmet did a song, right? Run DMC, Living Color, Ice-T and Slayer, Biohazard and Onyx.
In partnership with JAKIB.
Come on, man. Yeah, nobody doing this. Cypress Hill and Sonic Youth.
I hate that type of metal, though.
Who?
That metal stuff.
Well, these guys aren't like metal. Slayer?
Presented by Rocket Mortgage. Home loans
What about
that
Pearl
pay
Jam and
for
Cypress Hill?
Rocket can.
That would be good.
Oh, they did it.
O'Reilly Auto Parts
Yeah.
Studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, second hour here. And trying to figure out what the hell's happening. We did send an invite out to Jake Asman, mainly because he's leaving the network, it looks like, but he's paid it forward to us.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're in good shape here.
Well, who's going to be taking his spot on the network?
Well, Ron, do we have any idea what's going on? I mean, I was going to try to bring Asman on here and see if he could announce the news himself. And this is all under the same roof, right? So where he's going is the local version of Gal Media, correct?
Correct. What Jake is doing is he's heading over to 97.5, the Houston, our sister station, which is just based here.
Wait a second. And you have to clarify, because when people on our stream hear 97.5, they may think of a different station.
97.5 in Houston.
Houston. Thank you.
And he'll be performing, or he'll be on air. It's called The Wheelhouse. It'll be the afternoon drive from 3 to 7 local time, Central Time, which would be 4 to 8 if you're picking it up on a stream in your neck of the woods. He'll be on with Cody Stutes.
Love Cody.
And keep forgetting the other guy, Brad something.
You don't know?
Brad Kellner.
Yeah, Kellner. Thank you.
Kellner.
Who's coming down from Austin. I don't do anything on the local side.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't Kellner also in the building, the same building as you?
He's coming down from Austin.
Okay. Down from
down
Austin.
here.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay. You make it sound like it's Minnesota.
Isn't it?
Hey, coming all the way down from Austin, man. I'll tell you what. So what's going on now? Jake is leaving this hole in the network.
Leaving. Yeah, and there will be a new show host from 8 to 10.
Do we know?
We do, but we're making the announcement tomorrow.
Okay, so we don't say it now. So it's not going to be me.
So it's not Eytan.
But if you're up for it, stay tuned and listen to the final Jake Asman show tomorrow, where that announcement will
I'm
be
not
made.
going to listen to the Jake Asman show tomorrow. All right. We're back in 3 on the network. We have to figure out who that person is now. I have to text Ron, see if we can at least off the record know. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, Brad Kellner. I mean, put some respect on Kellner's name, will you, Culver? Jeez. All right.
John Kincaid chimed in
on
Kincaid's on Kevin Kincaid.
Saying what?
Imagine that. People who talk and critique for a living don't like being talked about or critiqued. Shocking.
Kev just said that?
No, John Kincaid said that.
In response to what, though?
Right, I think the Russ Joy tweet initially.
Yeah, but who? If they're are they talking about? I'm confused. Who are they talking about? Missinelli?
I think so.
All right.
Yeah.
So John just stirring the pot with his own coworker, huh?
Yes. Yes.
I'm not dealing with your crap today, Mike.
That was an all-timer.
Oh my goodness. Oh, nice.
That
Nice.
was like being triggered before there was triggered.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Let me say this, by the way. The person who is taking over for Jake is a good person. And we should have that person on once they are officially in.
So you know who it is.
I know who it is. You don't know who they are. Like, I don't think either of you know who they are.
Oh, okay.
You know I don't.
No, this person has been with and associated with the network. So that's how I know. Also pretty good. You know?
So is this a lateral move or an upward move for Jake?
I'd say it's upward.
So that means he can stop eating fast food.
No, he'll never stop. He's the Chipotle guy.
Yeah,
he's still gonna be that Chipotle guy.
Yeah,
I was thinking maybe he could go to an upper echelon Papados or something.
Oh, is Papados like bougie burritos?
Though they have a Mexican. They have a Mexican. It started out as a Mexican franchise, and then it went to seafood.
I always start with the nachos.
Yeah. That's right.
I always start with the bread and butter.
Dude, that's what I think of anytime I see that guy or hear his voice.
That's great.
It's nachos.
We've done our job. I always start with a glass of water. It's like, would you like bread and water? Yeah, this is how I know I'm at a restaurant I can trust.
So what exactly is going on? I mean, Houston. How many games they're talking about winning this year? I mean, is it worse than the Eagles as far as win total?
Yes.
So they have no faith in the coach?
No. Right? I mean, isn't that it?
Wow. You're right, man. Because they really didn't give him anything to work with either.
No. Couple of things here. Whoops.
Video Network.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts studios, here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, so it looks like we're going to have Jeremy Piven on this week. Also, got really good rave reviews from our old pal Eric Nemeth, who is the person who has connected us with a couple of people, including what we did with Jock Market earlier, and now Phil Steele. So Phil's going to be back with us.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we got that confirmation at some point before the season begins as well. So we're in pretty good shape. Now, look at this. It's almost like this man understands and knows the breaks of Sports Map Radio, where he will no longer be through the week, and you will have to wait until Saturday now on Sports Map Radio to hear the pipes of one Jake Asman. If you are in Houston or care about Houston sports outside of the city of Houston, you can stream this man on a new program. And look, of all things, you were paying it for. This is who you are as an individual, Jake. You on your way out, knowing that you're on your way out, knowing that you're done with the Jake Asman Show tomorrow, offered up a guest that is not only special to so many people who have watched Entourage, but you as a huge fan of the show. So that is something that is a sacrifice that I wanted the stream and the Sports Map Radio audience, including Ron Culver, to hear about who Jake Asman is.
Well, thank you, Eytan. I appreciate it. You didn't tell me, though. Did you schedule a time with Jay Piven? It's all set?
We're doing that in the process right now. I'm going back and forth with the great woman there who you contacted me with.
Awesome. Well, he's got that new movie that came out that's like based in Philly, right? So you guys can talk to him about that, too.
Now, what? Okay, yes, we will. We'll research that and we'll do that.
I never watched Entourage.
It's a damn shame, Harry. It's not too late.
Don't tell Piven that.
No,
just
but
don't ask about the show.
I'm just saying. Is that like a Sopranos type of thing that if you haven't watched it, you're like a loser?
Yeah,
it's
Breaking
a great
Bad,
show.
all that stuff.
You can still watch it. I mean, people are still rewatch The Sopranos. That has been on the air since 2007. Entourage ended in 2011, so you could always go back. What's great about Entourage is that after you're done with the show, if you've never seen it, you also get a movie. Like, how often do you get a show, then you also get a movie afterwards? Usually the show's over, that's it. Like, you don't get a movie.
Yeah, Deadwood did that too.
Well,
and it wasn't very good.
Right. All I'm gonna say is this, man. I remember pivoting in Rush Hour 2 with the buttercream. Put some animal on you, animal skin. What something?
Animal fat? What is it?
No, he was on Rush Hour.
No, I know.
And when he was playing the guy that was trying to, I want to put a dead animal on you, buttercream, but
I have no idea what he's talking about.
He's old school too. He's
we talked about that, right?
Keeping Up with the Steins. Yeah, he's got some other movies as well.
Yeah.
I can't believe you haven't seen PCU. Like that movie, him and Jon Favreau put that movie together, and it's way ahead of its time. And I think it was meant to be making fun of kind of what's happening now, like it's on the opposite side of it so long ago. But it was basically a university, PCU, political correctness university, where every single person on the campus had to protest about something. Each group had to protest and protest and protest. And finally, this house of degenerates led by Jeremy Piven and Jon Favreau and this other guy whose entire senior thesis was to watch like 1,000 hours of television straight, right? Like this degenerate house. And they launched this huge party where it was like, we're not going to protest anymore, where everybody could come in and have a safe space of not having to worry about protesting. And it's hilarious. And I think it's some of his best work, personally. And I can't believe you haven't seen that movie. Because
that was in the early 90s.
Yes.
Yeah.
Way ahead of its time.
I'll give it a whirl. I promise.
Why? What do you care? You're off the air tomorrow. You don't have to answer to us anymore.
I'm happy to come on anytime. I mean, look, the show doesn't start till 4 Eastern. So what the heck am I going to do before then?
Well, like I said, we were asking, if this was an upward movement or is this a lateral move? And the first thing the stream said, they got it right with you, man. They said, look, if it was a lateral move, it would be like, Chipotle going to, was it Qdoba?
Qdoba.
I've never eaten there before. So, So is that a lateral move for you, or what's up, man? Tell me what's going on.
No, I would say this is a step up just because it's it's local radio. Obviously, Houston's the fourth biggest city. I do love doing the Sports Map show because it gives you the freedom to talk about basically whatever is going on nationally. So this will be way more Houston sports, Texans, Astros, Rockets, but people in this town, a lot of transplants, right? And a lot of people that just love football. So you could always do college football. You could always do NFL talk. So it'll be a little different. But the guy I'm doing the show with is one of the hosts is named Cody Stutes. And he used to be on our network on SB Nation Radio and Sports Map Radio. So to get a chance to work with him again, and Andrew Carlson, who is a producer on the network, he's coming over to the local side. So we got a good team here in Houston. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, Cody Stutes does not follow me on Twitter, by the way. You got to do something about
that.
You
follow him?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
He's a bad guy. I just said nice things about him, but I take it all back.
Hold on. I'm going to correct that right now with a little DM here. This is
But you won't be able to talk about the Yankees anymore.
We'll save that for Saturday, I guess. Saturday will be 3 hours of just pent up frustration with all my teams and just unloading.
So what's going on with your Jets, man? I mean, what's the word? I haven't heard anything coming out of there.
Oh, you didn't hear Zach Wilson had our shaky practice at MetLife on Saturday, and people are ready to jump off a cliff?
Is that what happened?
I think he threw 2 picks, and it was like 11 of 24. I mean, Barry, you're the perfect person to ask. You can't overreact to a training camp practice in August when you're talking about a rookie quarterback, but people do, and that's everyone looking for instant gratification with whatever, and that includes sports.
Well, it's like here with Hurts. Hurts played in 6 games last year, so he should be ready to rock and roll. He started 4, but those other games that he played in, he should have all the experience he can have. He should be pre-snap reads there. Well, it's going to take a little bit for him to get adjusted to being a starter, getting the ball out. Those are all things you get with experience, man. But at this point, Wilson, he has a whole lot to learn. He's got to learn how to stay in the pocket. He's got to learn to not run. Same thing Hurts has to learn also. So, it's not time to jump off the bridge yet. You got a little time, man. You got a little time.
Well, Elijah Moore looks good, apparently. The kid they took
wide receiver from
second round.
Yeah.
I'm high on him.
He's a player.
I'm probably going to overdraft him in fantasy football, but I mean, apparently he's getting every rep with the ones. He's open on every play.
You're going to put rookie wide receivers on your fantasy football team?
I mean, I definitely could do better than, Eytan's Le'Veon Bell, Saquon Barkley experience on his team in our league last year.
That was crazy, wasn't it?
That's why I don't play season long, man.
Right.
I'll play best ball is the only season long I'll play, because at that point, you at least have a bunch of other guys, and you could have some dude out of nowhere pop up and be the starter. So, yeah, I'm done with it.
You're the kiss of death, man. You pick both of those guys, and they both end up, having a horrible season, not even playing in the season.
Getting hurt, yeah.
Right.
Well, Jake, what's your take on Deshaun Watson? Where do you think he starts the season? Does he stay in Houston?
I mean, I think he stays in Houston. I'm curious, though. So I don't think he gets traded. And I knew right away when that report came out, the Eagles and the Texans are talking. I checked in with some people. They're not close to trading him because they're not going to get ripped off here. And I just don't think the Eagles are giving 3-1s right now when they don't know if he's going to be ready for week 1, if a suspension's coming. There's still an open investigation here with the Houston Police Department that could eventually lead to criminal charges. I don't think anyone's trading for him right now. I know we're all looking for some sort of resolution to the Watson stuff, but I really think this plays out where he doesn't play at all in 2021, where maybe he's on the team, he's a healthy scratch. I'm curious what they could do with his roster spot. Do they have to make him a healthy and active? Can they put him on IR and claim there's an injury so he doesn't count?
Put him on IR, a soft tissue injury, a hamstring.
Yeah, he's dealing with a calf injury right now or an ankle, but he was actually back out there earlier, going through drills. And then when they started doing team periods, he just watched from the side. But I don't think he plays for them ever again. And I'd be really surprised if he plays for any team in 2021. I feel like this is a situation that doesn't get resolved until next offseason. And if you're the Texans, why rush to trade him now, right? I mean, if you make a deal for Watson now, you don't necessarily know where those draft picks are going to be. If you wait till the end of the year, 1, you probably have more teams that'd be interested in Deshaun Watson. 2, the legal stuff is more likely to be cleared up by then. And 3, at least you'd have certainty on where the draft picks would be that you'd be acquiring if you're trading for picks in 2022.
Penguin AZ, come on, man.
Yeah, you might be right about that.
Yeah, I think
so. On IR.
But the stream wants to know, Jake, how close is the Chipotle to your new station?
Equal distance. It's so ESPN Houston is owned by Dow Media, and they own SportsMap. So my commute to work is 7 steps to the left than what it was.
Oh, okay. So it's in the same building.
Yeah, we just did that with the Jake's third host that Ron didn't know. That's why I was telling him that he's in the building, but he's coming down from
Kellner. Yeah.
Yes, Kellner. Now, what do you know about Brad Kellner?
He's a young guy. He was doing
afternoons. You're a young guy. You're 20. What are you talking about? He's a young guy. How can you refer to anybody that's young? You're young.
You just gave me 2 extra years, Eytan. Thank you, man. Calling me 20. I appreciate that. Brad's a good dude, man. He's super nice. He's Eytan. He's a fellow member of the tribe as well. So we're probably the only 2 Jews in Houston, which is great. So we got that going for us.
Wow.
But he was doing radio in Austin. He was doing afternoons there. So he's leaving that to come down here. I believe he's got some family in the Houston area. So he's pretty familiar with the city. I think he was born and, went to high school in the Dallas area, but he's been in Austin for, he went to school at UT. So he's a Longhorn alum, and he was doing radio there for 4 or 5 years already on air. So he's a really good radio host, man. I'm excited to work with him.
Nice. Okay, look. And
wow.
All right, so leave us with this. We're going to have to break. You can hang as long as you want. That's fine here. But we're going to have to break real quick across the board. So I'm curious, are you is this 4 for 4 Houston radio here where you have to add the Houston Dynamo, or is it 5 for 5 radio where you have the Houston Dynamo?
Well, there's no hockey team.
Well, that's why I'm adding the 4th would be the Houston Dynamo, which is the MLS.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
And then the 5th would be the college, the University
Houston Cougars.
Yes, correct. So what's going on here?
Yeah, there probably will not be any soccer talk. I know nothing about that. UH, I mean, if they're good, they went to the Final Four in men's hoops. We talked about the men. University of Houston football. We'll see what Dana Holgerson does now. He's going.
How about Rice football? Any Rice commentary?
Man, no. Rice might have to take a back seat for a little bit here. They got to win more than 2 games to get discussed on local radio in town. But there'll be some college football talk for sure. You got a lot of UT. We air A&M on the station, so there'll be some Aggie football talk. They're going to be good this year in the SEC. So there'll be some football talk. It just probably won't be about Rice football. That I can promise you.
We got to pour one out for Bobby Bowden, man.
R.I.P.
Passed away over the weekend at 91.
All right, we're going to take a quick one here. Asman is in the house, new show and all. We're back in 3 across the board on the JAKIB Media YouTube page and Sports Map Radio.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
as long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull beef jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
Welcome to the Wildwoods, the perfect place where you can safely do everything or nothing at all. Catch a wave, take a nap, go for a drive, grab a bite. It's your vacation, and we're doing everything we can to make it a safe one. The Wildwoods. Your vacation, your way.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J-Doc and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at ibew98.org.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you. Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3. Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
This is a key. It's a family tree. It's a pair of wings. It's a secret handshake. And a ticket to anywhere in the world. It's more than a uniform. It's the door to a world most people only dream of. There's Strong, and then there's Army Strong. Try it on at GoArmy.com.
Wow, Jake just gone. Look at that.
Wow. Surprising. Did he get zipped?
But now, what was that you asked?
I mean, did somebody pull the plug on him?
Yeah, I think so.
On our show?
I think so.
Yeah, but Cody Stutes, by the way, following.
Good.
I just sent him a message wishing him good luck with the new show.
Good. No, we should have him on. He's a really good dude.
Didn't we have him on once?
I'm sure we've had him on to talk about Houston stuff. And he's done a show with Jake before on the network, the afternoon show that they did. So he's class, total class. No, these are good guys. Look, I'm sure Brad's going to fit right in. So this should be a fun show. We'll try and get, and Andrew Carlson is their producer, and I've worked with him.
I know him.
Yeah, he's solid here. So what we'll do is we'll reach out to Andrew maybe once or twice a week and see if there's anything like super ridiculous that Asman said.
Right.
We can run back because I don't want the stream is so endearing to Jake. He's become such a close friend of the show here.
He's like a mascot. Like, but and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like the stream kind of treats him like a mascot of the show.
Okay.
They call him the Chipotle guy.
Right.
I love it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And they
love it.
request his presence. Like, get
Right.
the Chipotle guy on.
He knows something about Houston. Get the Chipotle guy.
Yes.
It's amazing.
It really is.
All right, so
We should play the audio, though, of Fletcher Cox. I sent that to you today, didn't I, Eytan?
Let's see here. Is it on email?
I sent it to Ron as well. They did a streamed press conference after the open practice on Saturday night.
All right,
and
so
there's a beef between one of the lead beat writers and Fletcher Cox.
So Ron, do you have this audio?
Say that again.
Do you have this Fletcher Cox audio by any chance?
No, I don't.
Okay. So
I emailed it to both of you.
No, that's fine. Let me pull it up. I just didn't know if I could play it. Like the video, that's all.
Yeah, it's Jeff McClain who covers the team for Philly.com, The Inquirer. Fletcher Cox doesn't even recognize him. He doesn't even acknowledge him.
Let's see.
Jeff McClain.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you heard me or not, Fletch. Just asking about the what you've done lining up in other spots in JG's defense, and if that's something you think is going to be the case once the season starts. Can you hear me? Am I missing something here?
Dot.
Are there any more questions for
You're not-
Fletch?
Am I not getting heard? Is it something wrong here?
We'll go to McManus next.
All right, so here's where the Eagles come off looking ridiculously stupid and petty. Is you have to give it back to Jeff and say, no, he's ignoring you.
Right.
Like, you can't look. If they're going to go that route and defend their player, which is fine, you do whatever the hell you want. I'm not in charge of Eagles PR, but I think Eagles PR looks the worst here by a mile, and it's not even close. Like, you can't have going through this whole thing via Zoom and all the technology that we're using and implementing, and have people be like, can you hear me? Is there a problem? Like, anything. That's your job, is to make sure that there are no technical issues. So at the very least, you have to respond and say, no, we can hear you fine. You don't have to owe him anything more than that. Just,
right.
No, you can hear him. We can hear you fine. But that person comes off looking like a much worse to me than McClain and Cox combined. That's just my personal opinion.
So Fletch he just chose not to answer him.
Yeah, he just sat there and
Correct.
stared into the abyss and just didn't want to answer it.
Did he answer anybody else's stuff?
Oh yeah, he answered everybody else's stuff. Yeah.
So what's the beef between what he wrote something about Fletch?
He doesn't like something he wrote, I guess.
Well, that's the thing is, he wrote. Now again, this was on Twitter. There was a little back and forth, and I was involved, not specifically, but I was tagged on this here, where McClain even put a screen cap of what Marcus Hayes wrote before him about the Eagles' skepticism over Nick Sirianni was inevitable, as it was for Ray Rhodes, Andy Reid, and Doug Peterson, Marcus Hayes. So because McClain had a piece that followed that referenced the pronoun we, people, including Fletcher apparently, are attributing it all to Jeff McClain. That's it.
Well, McClain also wrote, there was a feeling among some coaches that Cox wasn't maximizing his ability over that span of his career or taking the necessary preventative steps in terms of his health, team sources said. I remember that. That was just a couple of months ago.
Yes. So
they're talking about him being in shape and,
But who's saying that, right? Like, how many times has somebody yelled at a reporter in Pittsburgh or Detroit or anywhere you've played, Barrett, and it's been the initial reaction of, man, that's nonsense. That's BS. I play and I'm in this locker room. And then maybe a day or a week or 6 weeks later, you find out, you know what? Because maybe you lose 3 or 4 games in a row. And you find out, you know what? Somebody was chirping. And again, it doesn't mean that what was said about Fletcher Cox to Jeff McClain was even accurate, but we can't ignore that there are people once again inside this damn building who love to talk.
Or were inside the building. Maybe they're no longer there.
It's fair.
Right.
You know.
Right. Well,
Well, hold on a second, real quick, Barrett. If they're no longer there, then they can't really be a team source, can they?
Yeah. Well, they could be a former team source.
which I think you would have to explicitly put out. That's all.
Okay. Okay. But I mean, that wasn't too long ago. I mean, they just had the changing of the guard back in what, January, February, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, Seth has always said that. Seth has said that for the past 3 years since Aaron Donald became the dominant force he was. And he's always compared the two in the conversation. In fact, he probably was one of the first ones to even make that comparison, to start that whole comparison up, was the fact that, look at Aaron Donald's body, look at Fletcher. When I just think they're just two different type of players. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to talk about being great at your position, Seth has always said that Aaron Donald is greater simply because not just the numbers, but how he handles himself, how he prepares himself. You know what I mean? When I look at Fletch, I see what he's going through. I see this double teams. I see these triple teams, that he has to fight through. They move Aaron Donald around a lot. They put him in different positions. So it's really hard to try to find put a bead on him where he is to block him that way. Fletch is always going to be next to Brandon Graham in that 3 technique, which they're changing now. They're changing the defense now. They ran a lot of bear front. They start off with bear front. The first snap of the scrimmage, they started out in a bear front. A bear front is when you have the center and both guards being covered by defensive linemen. One of the defensive ends will kick down, and they'll probably bring in a guy like Jannard Avery, who's a linebacker / defensive end, or Carrigan on the line of scrimmage. So you essentially got 5 defensive linemen down. They use that a lot to stop the run. But if you do pass, you got guys athletic enough like an Avery, that can go out there and cover if he did have to cover.
All right, we are back in 3. Did we break last time? Oh, yeah, we broke with Jake, so we're still here. Forgot about that one.
So, essentially, he lined up at defensive end, the second snap.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's far cry from what they did before. Schwartz just had him where he was going to be at, and they could, offenses could optimize the potential of blocking with more people because they knew exactly where he was going to be. Well, if he's moving around everywhere, it's going to be hard to game plan how to block him and stop him in most circumstances.
Right.
So.
What is going on here? Will Quez Watkins start? I'm telling you, man, it's happening already. Well, we also don't know how bad it is with Devontae Smith.
What happened?
Pennsylvania deer testing positive for COVID-19
What?
antibodies.
For antibodies.
It found more than a third of the sample size of deer had been exposed to the virus.
How?
Well, it's out there, right? So.
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out how they.
Well, think about it. One deer in a herd, right? Gets it?
That's what I'm trying to say. How did they? Because like now they saying, not necessarily here in Jersey, but like in Pennsylvania, when you pump your own gas, they said the virus is getting transferred a lot from people pumping their gas because you don't usually wash your hands before you touch a gas pump.
Well, that's what it was.
You get back in the car and you touch, your steering wheel, and
right. That's not changed though. That's what happened initially. It's just that's like human transmission is easy to understand, right? Because we're all bouncing, bumping into each other. But look, I'll tell you, man, I don't know. Maybe this is coincidental or not. I had to run and nearly chase a deer off my front yard yesterday.
What?
I'm telling you, this damn thing is just sitting there eating away. It wasn't no youngins or anything to protect or anything like that. Just sitting there chomping away at my grass. And I'm like, yo, get out of here. Get out of here. And I started getting closer and closer. And I'm thinking to myself, is this going to be like one of these when animals attack?
Yeah, he's going to bite you.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I backed down for a second. I was like, I'm going to back away here I back away.
Was it a male or a female? Did it have antlers?
Oh, no antlers.
Okay.
No antlers. So female, right?
Yeah, bro.
I'm telling you, they have no fear, zero fear.
That's like squirrels too.
I don't think Barrett, I don't think you've been to my house, but I know Harry has, where I have this driveway and then I have like this little inset for a third car.
Right.
Where you can park kind of on the right of it. I'm sitting there the other day about to pull out and I look up. What the hell? Deer just walks right by my window like it's nothing.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto
No
Parts
fear.
Studios. Here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right. We have, Harry's right. We don't have much tonight.
No, there's not much at all.
Woo. This is going to be a tough one.
It's going to be a Longmire night for me. Multiple episodes of Longmire.
I don't hate
Longmire, what's that?
It's the show I'm watching right now. It was on for 6 seasons between like 2011 and 2017. And now I hear that their 7th season is in the works, even though it's like 5 years after they stopped filming. They're coming out with a 7th season. So I'm on season 1. I'm almost done with season 1.
Nice. And you
he's
like
he's like a sheriff out in like rural Wyoming. It's pretty good.
Now, how about my guy Ray Diamond? Or Lou Diamond, pardon me. I'm thinking of Ray Donovan.
He's good in it.
But who is he? Like, give us a little skinny on the character.
Well,
I'm a big Lou Diamond.
Yeah, he's really good in this. And like, there's an Indian reservation right next to the town, and there's a lot of like interaction. A lot of it's not positive between the town and the reservation. And Lou Diamond is a Native American that lives in the town and runs like a bar restaurant type of thing. And he's the inside man for the sheriff.
Okay,
with the reservation.
Got it.
He's a good character.
Yeah, he's a strong actor.
Yeah.
Very underrated
actor.
I'm trying to think, like, what was the TV? What was the it was NYPD Blue, right? No. It wasn't in that, was he?
No, I'm not sure.
What was the cop show? I think he did Law and Order for a little bit, right?
Didn't everybody?
Well, no, that's Benjamin Bratt. I don't want people to be confused. You know? Most famous has got to be Chavez, right? From Young Guns.
Yeah. Chavez.
Man, that dude was nasty. And you had a guy bringing a knife to a gunfight, you better not mess with that dude.
Right.
Like he's either incredibly stupid or he's going to kill everybody.
I just remember the peyote episode, man.
Yeah.
Look at the chickens. Look at these chickens.
That's right. See, look at you, man. No, he was in that one episode. Okay, I thought he was in more. He was in the one of SVU. He's great. The First Power, if you've ever seen that movie. Woo.
The First Power.
First Power, yeah. He's a cop trying to track down a Satanist. He's also in that great movie, too. Isn't he in that movie with Val Kilmer?
Which one?
Also, hold on a second. Now you got me thinking about Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yeah, his character in Longmire's got a great name. Henry Standing Bear.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's his character's name.
Nice. Yeah, he's got a large range of ethnicities that he can represent, right? He's like Vin Diesel.
Who's that?
Lou Diamond.
Oh, okay.
You ever hear that old story about Vin Diesel where he couldn't get roles early on because nobody knew how to. In our society, we have to classify you, right? You have to be
right.
You have to be whoever, right? And nobody, are you Italian? Are you black? Or, you know, like nobody, are you Middle Eastern? Nobody knew who he was. So he created this kind of like short about just being like this person that nobody could figure out. And it got him looks. And I think that initially got him some looks and then it turned him in. But he was
That's how The Rock was too. The Rock.
Yeah.
Nobody really wanted to cast him as who he is. I don't know what he is. Is he Polynesian? I mean, what is he?
I think Polynesian. He's part Polynesian, yeah.
But you know, and he can play the Hispanic role also.
Right.
You know. So that's this new movie he was in, man. I actually ordered it on Disney. Where
Wait, who? Vin Diesel?
No,
The Rock.
Oh, jeez, come on.
He's a tugboat.
Not the Jungle Cruise.
The Jungle Cruise.
You ordered that?
I ordered $30.
Unbelievable. By the way, the movie I was thinking of was Thunderheart. Strong.
That's a good one. That's a good movie. I did.
Very
that's
strong.
the Val Kilmer movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Strong.
Well, That had a Native American thing too. That was
They were on the reservation,
yeah.
correct? Yeah. What are you doing, Jungle Cruise? Like, what's wrong with you, man?
I don't
Bro,
know,
You have
man.
kids in the house.
Look, I had grandsons and nieces at my house. You're gonna order that type of stuff.
Oh man, I
Here's
hate to
here's
do
the
it.
thing. What's gonna happen if my son starts yelling that he wants to watch Bubble Guppies, and instead I put on the Eagles winning the Super Bowl in 2017?
QVC.
Or
Bro,
yeah,
that's not happening, bro.
But why? Why wouldn't it happen?
Because you're gonna get. Sometimes you're gonna just say, "No, Mas, I'm just not gonna fight. I'm gonna pick my battles. Let me turn this on so this kid can be quiet."
See, when I was a kid, there was no battle.
No question.
There was no battle, and there shouldn't be a battle now.
You know what it was though, Harry?
Grandkids is different, man. Grandkids is different.
Yeah, but both of you can appreciate this. There wasn't a battle because we always had our own time. Saturday mornings, we had 3 to 4 hours and as many bowls of sugar-laden cereal as we could ingest to watch anything from G.I. Joe to Transformers to all the crap that Harry watched before that. We had everything. And that's what our parents knew, which is, we'd throw a fit maybe on like Monday evening, but we would have that time. We would have that Saturday morning time.
I never wanted that time. If I couldn't be outside, that'd be the worst thing you could do to me was make me stay in the house. If you made me stay in the house, I would go crazy. I didn't want to sit down and watch anything. I was outside playing something.
You know what I watched instead of cartoons on Saturday mornings?
What's that?
The NFL film stuff.
Oh, yeah.
This week in the NFL, and there was followed by another show. It was like an hour, a power hour of what went down. Yeah, that's because there was no highlight shows.
It was inside the inside the NFL, wasn't it? With Len Dawson?
That was an HBO. That's something different. I'm
Didn't
talking.
that
It was
run though Saturdays. Like,
I don't know when that ran. I never watched that show.
Oh, that was. Are you kidding me? With Len Dawson?
Yeah, because we didn't have HBO.
Oh,
for a while. So.
And
it was
music ever.
It was Harry Callis of all people.
Well, Facenda was first. John Facenda was the first guy
for Inside the NFL
for all the highlights. Yes.
Well, I think Inside the NFL though had Callis for, didn't it?
Well, after Facenda died. Yeah, Harry Callis did it.
Oh, okay. Because maybe when did Facenda die? Because as a kid, all I remember is
probably 80s, early 80s.
84.
Okay, that makes sense then. 84?
Yeah.
Because I remember just racing to the television to see highlights. Like it could be Seahawks, Bears.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
It would be like, and you would have the music in the back, and then Harry Callis. What a day it was for Steve Largent.
Yes.
Like, oh, man.
It was the greatest.
It was amazing. Right. Something absolutely amazing.
Oh.
So that's when that's I was always outside, and if I did watch, it'd be something like that, man. I didn't watch any. I watched sometimes I will watch cartoons. Like my brothers will probably watch more cartoons than I did, more so than me. I wanted to be outside doing something, playing basketball, just running. I mean,
anything you could.
My boy had a BB gun. Just got the BB gun, and in the back of our house, through these woods. When my pops was in the service till I was like 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I lived with him until I was 8 years old. Then my parents got a divorce. We moved back to St. Louis, but we were actually up here in Jersey. We're in Jersey at Fort Leonard Wood. We're Fort Dix. Yeah, it was Fort Dix, and McGuire was right next to it. Fort Dix.
McGuire Air Force Base was right there. Yeah.
There was this steam plant that was in the back, and it'd be this guy sitting in this chair because he was in charge of steam plant at the time. So he'd be sitting in this chair, and my boy had a BB gun, and me and him took turns shooting at this man. He couldn't see where we were, shooting at him and hit him with the BB gun. And one day he said, "I'm gonna fix them," and he called the police and told the police, "These kids keep on shooting with the BB gun." So the police sat down and hid from us. And lo and behold, we got bored one day. We went out there, and they caught us on this day. Shooting, pow, tearing him up, pow, and the police took me to my house, man. It was a bad day, bro. Bad day.
Now, what did Mama Brooks say?
Oh, it wasn't Mama Brooks. It was Papa Brooks then.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Pops. Woof.
Who was the one that you didn't want? Like, who was the one that you knew you were going to be in worse trouble with? Because, the dad and son, there's always the break out the belt or whatever factor it may be.
That's what it was.
The mom, she could get you with those eyes of disappointment.
She
you
did.
let me down. Or look, sometimes like my mom would break out the rack. She's 5'1", so my mom couldn't do much like physically. She'd have to, hit me with a racket or something.
Well, my mom was the one who got my dad to back off.
There you go. Okay.
Like she had to come in and basically save me.
Peacemaker.
Bruh, it was pick your poison. Like my mom, she would whoop longer. My pops, it'd be short, but it'd be awful painful. So,
Very effective.
Yeah, pick your poison, man. Which one do you want, man? But the worst thing that you could do was make me stay in the house. Oh my God, man. Don't make me stay in the house. I got, because like I said, go through the woods. If I wanted to go, didn't want to shoot the guy with the BB gun, I go down the street and they had a lake down there. I go fishing in the lake. You know what I'm saying? So I always had something to do, or I'd go and we'd ride bikes to the neighborhood. We'll go fight kids in the neighborhood next to us, man. I always wanted to be outside. I never wanted to be in the house.
I got grounded once a month. Honestly,
about right.
Yeah, one time I got grounded for the entire summer. Like
what?
that was the threat. It was in June. Summer had just started, and my dad grounded me for the rest of the summer. And then about a week and a half later, it sunk in that that's a long time to have him in the house. So the grounding was over.
Right.
It was basically, I'd rather have this guy out of the house.
Well, look, I was like, man, if they gave me a pick or an ultimatum, it would be, I can't take it, man. I just can't take staying in the house, man. So they gave me the ultimatum. I'm going to whoop your tail. Or you just stop doing what you're doing, or I'd probably keep doing what I was doing. But if I'm going to whoop your tail, I would say if they said, I'm going to keep you in the house, you're going to be on punishment for a long time. There was no way I was doing it after that. Don't tell me you're going to make me stay in the house. I had to be gone, man. Had to be gone. I'd be playing basketball every single day. Rain, sleet, or snow. It didn't matter, bro. I had to be outside. It was the worst to have to stay in the house.
Now, I'm still on the Lou Diamond Phillips thing here.
Yeah.
Did you know he's in 2 movies that are named Grateful Dead songs?
I'm guessing
How did you come up with that?
Raving Mad is not one of them.
No, but I just noticed it here because I'm scrolling through his IMDb. He was in
66?
Broke Down Palace.
Okay.
And The Wharf Rat. Wharf Rat's a famous Jerry Garcia song.
Now,
Isn't that wild?
What is about?
Well, Broke Down Palace was actually good. That took place over in like Thailand, I want to say.
Okay.
And it was a couple of girls were arrested for drugs over in a foreign land. It's a good movie.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. Kate
now,
Beckinsale's in it too.
The Wharf Rat is
and Claire Danes. Wharf Rat. I never saw Wharf Rat.
Wait, wasn't he the bad guy in Courage Under Fire?
He was in that.
I think he was the bad guy, wasn't he?
It's been a long time.
He's Filipino.
Really or maybe it was Matt Damon who was the bad guy. I know he was in that movie. I just didn't know which one it was.
He's been in a lot of stuff, man.
Bro, all this time I thought he was
he's
Hispanic.
a Hall of Famer.
I thought he was Hispanic, but he's actually Filipino.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I thought he was Hispanic because first time I really saw it was La Bamba.
La Bamba, yeah.
That's the only reason why. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he is.
Underrated Hall of Famer, man. This guy's been in a lot,
Mm-hmm.
Key roles, too. Great roles.
All right, we'll see what happens. I put that on Twitter. No, he's not. All right, we're back in 3 on the network. Still live here. We'll take a break before overtime. It is the middle on Sports Map Radio and the JAKIB Media YouTube page. I got to see, man. I got to see. I don't know.
Carlos Dew on the stream. Mom picked up anything within reach.
Right.
Have you ever been whipped with your own Hot Wheels track?
Man, I remember those hot wings.
Yeah,
tracks,
remember
man.
those things?
Hot Wheels tracks,
Weren't they like orange?
Yeah, some were orange and some were black, and they were like fold. You fold them. I mean, they like twist like that. Oh yeah, you ain't never lie. Wait, I remember. I started getting old, so I was about 9 years old, and I got in trouble. That's why I said, my mom. I don't play with my mom. I still don't play with my mom, man. Like she used to have. I'm telling you, my mom used to carry a gun back in the day, man. She used to call, "Where's my snake charmer at?" That means, Barrett, go get mom's gun.
Oh,
She
yeah?
would make me go. She had like a 38 special. She called her a snake charmer. She wasn't playing with nobody. Nobody. I got too big one time, then and I never said anything out of the way or anything like that. But she actually, I wrapped me up in a sheet so I couldn't move.
Swaddle.
And tore my butt up. Because I'm at the time, my mom was 5'7". But at the time, I'm like 6 foot then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm going to fix you. Wherever you turn, you're getting lit up. That's what happened, bro. My mom did not play, bro. I'm telling you. That's why I try to stay out as much trouble as I could. As much as I could.
That's funny.
That's my boy Adam. Adam, what's up, bro?
Hmm?
My boy Adam. His pops, man. I had to go through my stuff with my stuff through the NFL when I was in California. Well, I met his pops. His pops is a doctor.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and he was just talking about his son and everything. So me and his pops got cool. But then I started talking to him. Real cool dude, man. Real cool dude. He's in California. How about they're Californians, but 4 for 4, Philadelphia.
Is that right?
Pops grew up in Philadelphia. He grew up in California, but he's still a 4 for 4 guy for Philadelphia.
You know Bill Schmid?
Yeah, I
Eytan?
know Bill. Yeah, Bill's been on.
He's on Sports Map.
Yeah, Bill's. We had Bill on Milwaukee stuff.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why? What's up?
I just started following him on Twitter.
Oh yeah, Bill's a good dude. Bill's really good dude.
Look at Tone. Tone said, I bet your mom didn't have a special whipping. No, my mom didn't. But I can remember, man, I was cut up in school. That's going to be my story day. I'm cutting up in school. I'm doing whatever I wanted to do. So the teacher said, I'm calling your dad. You ain't calling my dad because I knew my dad was at work, so he wouldn't answer the phone. Why did my dad stay home from work that day? She called him, and I saw him. There was a belt store, like a leather store, like 5 miles up the road.
Live from the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Eytan Shander, Barrett Brooks, and Harry Mays.
All right, final couple of minutes. We have overtime coming up at the top here. Anything else that
I'm finishing my story, man.
Oh, go ahead. Well,
it was a 5-mile walk.
Bring it back, man. There are people that are thinking, like, what the hell is he talking about?
That's why I was quiet. So he called my dad and said, oh, I just told your dad. I said, no, you didn't. So my pops walks past the school. So I'm thinking he come to the school, but he didn't come to the school because I could see him out the window, but he kept walking past. So I see him coming back like maybe 30 minutes later. And I see him and he's got a belt in his hand, a leather strap in his hand. And he's like, slapping it in his hand as he's walking by the school. Mm-hmm. As he's walking by the school.
He can't wait to tear into you. He's like Adrian Peterson going out in the backyard and snapping off a twig.
Yeah.
And I saw him with this strap walking back home, man.
Yeah. You knew what you were getting when you got home.
Knew it because I was cutting up, man. I knew I was going to get it, man. I knew I was going to get it, man.
Sometimes you just got to take your beating.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Head down, keep it moving.
Exactly.
Seriously. Now get some Chris Foley at C Foley 23. Random appearances on the Wiggles are wild. Such a weird guy to have. What's the Wiggles? Is that a kid show?
Yeah, that's a kid show.
Okay.
Weren't the Wiggles? Aren't they like a band? Like they play music for kids? I think they used to like do tours and stuff. Like they'd go to like Wells Fargo Center.
Is this like the Gauchos or like the Globetrotters?
Well, the Globetrotters was basketball. This was like a music entertainment show, I think. Kids songs.
Yeah.
Hey, what
time make a lot of money.
Right.
What time do they play on Thursday?
8 o'clock, I think.
Yeah, we got a little bit left. All right, overtime next. Keep it here.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
as long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
The savoring taste of a good bag of beef jerky is so enjoyable at any time of the day, as long as you can find it. Here's what we suggest. Pure Bull beef jerky is our answer, and soon it will be yours. Locally produced in the Philadelphia region, this high-quality, healthy protein snack is easy to secure. Go to steersnacks.com, and you'll see hot garlic, tropical heat, Pure Bull dry rub, and our favorite, Huck and Fod. What's that? Huck and Fod. Go now to steersnacks.com.
Welcome to the Wildwoods, the perfect place where you can safely do everything or nothing at all. Catch a wave, take a nap, go for a drive, grab a bite. It's your vacation, and we're doing everything we can to make it a safe one. The Wildwoods. Your vacation, your way.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Union 98, is a proud sponsor of The Labor Show with J. and Krause every Saturday night from 6 till 8 p.m. IBEW Local 98's highly trained and superbly skilled electricians are the best in the business, setting the highest safety standards in the electrical industry. So when you're planning your next industrial, commercial, or residential project, choose an IBEW Local 98 union contractor. Learn more at ibew98.org.
On the field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
This is a key. It's a family tree. It's a pair of wings. It's a secret handshake. And a ticket to anywhere in the world. It's more than a uniform. It's the door to a world most people only dream of. There's Strong, and then there's Army Strong. Try it on at GoArmy.com.
The game's at 7:30 on Thursday night.
Is it
7:30?
Yeah, 7:30. And there was a question a while back on the stream, Barrett. Somebody wanted to know, I think it was Kayvon Wallace, how he's playing.
Oh man, Kayvon is balling, man. In fact, he's the penciled in as a starter until
McLeod comes back.
McLeod come back, yeah. But he's making a run for it. I didn't know he's as fast as he is. I mean, it seemed like he picked up another gear. He's playing fast. You could tell the year that he had last year, the maturity level is starting to, his next step from his first year to his second year is going to be a major step in the right direction. I like Wallace, man. I like the way he's been playing, man. They're going to have him on playing a lot this year, not just in safety. When McLeod comes back, I see him being that big nickel guy when they do put in big nickels, when they have three safeties and two linebackers. Mm-hmm. He'll be the guy that they put in at that linebacker / safety position in the box.
He certainly has a lot of confidence.
Oh, no question.
Yeah.
Why you say that?
Well, he said he was quoted as saying he's going to be a star.
Oh, well,
not starter, but
no star.
Okay,
yeah,
he's definitely doing it, man. And I like what he's doing out there. Also, like what the rookie's doing. McPherson, he has the NFL body. He's playing. He's playing confident. Mm-hmm. Very, very confident. He's trying to make plays. He's trying to knock the ball out. And I think defensively, the secondary, they've made it a point to do the little extra things as far as creating turnovers. And that's what you have to do. You have to practice it first.
Yeah.
It's not like you can just go out there on game day and just turn it on.
The Bears coach that. They've always done that.
Yeah. So
Their
that's what's happening too.
Yeah.
They're creating turnovers.
Remember Peanut Tillman, how he would come up and try to take the ball from you? They'd like wrap you up and then he punched the ball.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And
That was all coached.
Well, they're definitely taking that philosophy and they're running with it, and it's going to make the offensive guys better because now they're aware that, that's going to be happening to them. So now they cover up. Now they make sure they secure the ball. There's not a lot of times the ball's on the ground because, the defense is teaching them, that they need to go out there and hold on to the ball. And, the same thing, they're still trying to create turnovers. So, I mean, it works hand in hand with both the offense and the defense. Now, special teams, yeah, to me, that's just to me, my observation, they're looking a little shaky. You know what I'm saying? They're looking a little shaky. Our place kicker, he better go out there and start, pulling his weight. Put it like that, pulling his weight.
Did you know
Go ahead.
J-Jaw is on the stream?
Not,
you see this?
Not the J-Jaw.
No.
J-Jaw.
Well,
he's got the day off today.
Yeah,
they're not practicing.
No, I thought he just thought he had the day off in general.
Yeah, they don't have practice day. They don't like Wallace's draft pick. Hope he proves me wrong. Yeah, well, you know what?
How can you not like Wallace as a draft pick? He played at Clemson. How can you not like any Clemson players?
Especially on defense, holding their own. Like
seriously,
right?
Yeah, I'd have to disagree.
He played a lot last year too. A lot of special teams, and he played a lot when McLeod went down. So.
Wow. I don't know. Not J.G. Wentworth. Yeah, good. That's a good one. All right, Eytan, what action you got tonight? What are you cooking up?
I'm looking right now. I'm holding on to Sochi up 1-0 over another team in Russian soccer. I've got a 2-leg German soccer parlay here with a couple of favorites. So my two tennis bets busted.
I'm
not going to blame who I got that stuff from because they've been very, very good to me. Tonight, let me look real quick because baseball, I've been on a nice little streak here with baseball from both betting and from a DFS standpoint. There's not really anything here.
Cincinnati and the Indians, the Reds and the Indians, pretty good game.
So, yeah, I tell you what I would do. This is what I would do tonight. I would take the Brewers, who are laying 2 on the road, and I would
Cubs.
Correct. I would drop that. If I could get it even better. No, I can only get it here, so I'd have to go to another book. So in real time here, I would drop the Brewers to -1, and I would run that with the White Sox, either money line or -1. Basically, I would take these two games, and I would run a combo and take Milwaukee either at -1 on the road or the money line, and then Chicago the opposite. So if you take Milwaukee on the money line, you take Chicago -1. If you take Milwaukee -1, you take Chicago on the money line.
Okay.
Those are the two I put together here.
No summer league hoop action?
Man, I have no idea.
The Sixers play today at 4 o'clock.
How would you even go about betting that?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think you can. Saquon Barkley activated and back at practice.
Yeah. We'll see how long. I feel like he's going to get hurt again. Not that I'm rooting for it, but I don't know. Don't trust it. Do not trust it.
No, I'm torn with that guy because I like him. And I'm not a Penn State honk either. But Saquon's I'd love to have a guy like that on my team.
No question. So talented, man.
Yeah.
He can do so much stuff, man. Breakaway speed.
And a quality dude, too.
Yeah. Can run you over, can run past you, run in between the tackles, catch out the backfield, run screen plays, line him out in the slot. He does it all, bro. He's worth that 4th-round pick when healthy. I mean, the 4th pick in the draft when healthy.
Yeah, 4th overall, yeah.
All right, on their way out, how about this here? How about Daryl Morey? I love this guy. Absolutely love this guy. He responds to a Daily News column. And look, it's not that he's responding. I don't need that, right? Okay, that's great. But the Philadelphia Daily News comes out with Eastern Conference foes have helped themselves more this offseason than the Sixers have. So Morey responds, much work to do, but absolute nonsense on us not putting ourselves in a better position than most in the East. And he responds with a screen cap of the futures market for the betting world of where the Sixers are below the Nets and the Bucks.
Wow.
I love it.
Was this on Twitter?
Yes. I tell you, Morey is one of my favorite follows. And yes, he follows me back. So yes, I'm biased.
Yeah, well, me too.
But he's amazing, man. To hit somebody out like that. Like, it's one thing to be like, no, you have no idea what you're talking about, or create 6 burner accounts and have your wife run them to rip somebody in the media. But to come back with a screen cap of the futures markets,
that's awesome.
I can respect that.
The Action Network too.
Yes, I can respect that. All right. We're out of here. We will see everybody tomorrow. Reminder, hit us up with a like. Make sure you are subscribed. We're live and local from the Fritz and B and Cooley Law Studio. If you know someone who suffered a personal injury, contact Brian Fritz directly. And we are sponsored by Pure Bull Beef Jerky. Get yours now at steersnacks.com. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.